has arrived. Let's get this party started! With his trainer Tony Sims and wearing white, official weight 17 stone, 6 pounds or 244 pounds. This Olympic gold medalist now has a perfect record as a professional, consisting of 15 fights, 15 victories, 15 wins by knockout. He is the Commonwealth and BBBFC British champion and the WBC International Heavyweight champion from London, England, the undefeated challenger, AJ Anthony Joshua. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, with his trainer Henry Tillman, wearing gold and black and officially weighing in at 17 stone 8 pounds or 245 pounds. He has 24 professional fights, 23 victories, including 21 wins by knockout with 1 draw, and 13 of his last 13 fights are by knockout. From Carson City, California, the reigning, defending, undefeated IBF heavyweight champion of the world, Prince Charles Martin.
This place has been loud in the past. Nothing like this tonight. Anthony Joshua's big night. He's had a good camp too up in Big Bear.
For both of you in wrestling, I want a clean and a fair fight. When time from your hand, the limit. The limit is the belt from your throats. Okay, let's start the fight.
Well, this is it. But the hope of everyone in this arena is it's the coming of age of Anthony Joshua. Looks to land the right hand, but he's miles away there, despite the big cheer. Martin showing reluctance to engage here early, and that is the feeling in the Martin camp. David Hay said about that, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Charles Martin. How will Martin react? Every time they come together, you can just hear the reaction. They are waiting for an explosion here. There's the right hand from Joshua. He senses that Martin in front of him, circling. Joshua looking to land on Anthony Joshua, getting the jab going, but it's the right that Martin's got to watch for, and he's starting to unload
movement from Martin, which I've always looked as a danger to him. He can double up the jab and get that long right hand on.
And a lot of weight on that. He's going to absorb a lot of that.
The novice looking left.
Two novices. Another right hand gets in from Joshua. Martin looking a little bit wary here. Just got tangled up there. But Joshua's landed 2 or 3 now. None of them on the button.
He's wary of throwing a punch. He's looking to see what comes back from Joshua. Tries the left.
What an incredible... What do you make of that first round, David?
It looks as though...
But the feeling in this arena, it's ready just to burst. They're waiting for the big shot, I thought, in the amateurs as well. But that was a long time ago. Sparring Joey Abel, Minnesota Ice, Tyson Fury a couple of years ago. Otto Wallin. They came over all to prepare him for this. And he's tagged again, this time with a left hand. And there's a unsteady look about Charles Martin here. Himself open to a counter.
Martin's a bit ungainly, but he's managed to get his left hand up so far, trying to for the left.
Got him! Right hand on the floor. Martin looks into his corner as if to say, what on earth was that? Now he's looking at taking every second he can. Bunch on the floor, and there's still a minute 40 left in this second round. And he's down again on the brink here. Strolls into the corner as if to say, job done. And Martin looks like
Well, he has now. He's just been knocked out. And that was a short reign, and we have a new...
Charles Martin did not want to get up. He was looking at the referee. The referee was counting.
We've been saying, and I think you've agreed with this, he hits as hard. If he catches you clean, you're in trouble, and that's what happened.
If he catches any heavyweight in the world with those shots, they're going to hit the canvas. You know, he's a perfect specimen. If he can land that shot on anybody, they're going to sleep.
He took his time. He used his jab. He had that wonderful effect, as Joshua does. You just cannot stand in front.
First round, as some of those right hands were getting through, that Martin was feeling them. Didn't want any part.
As he said, he's never been decked before. You know, to have that first experience happen here in front of 20,000 people in a foreign country.
Yeah, for the very first time, it comes as a big shock, and he was badly hurt there. And after the next,
well, you can't rely on that in the heavyweight game when you've got 10-ounce gloves on. A
heavyweight to have that sort of power, you got to keep out of the way. He was wide open, very upright. Just walked straight into the right hand.
Twice for that.
Yeah, well, that's always been the weakness in his style, the fact that he's a southpaw, but he's very straight up and down, no head move as he could get close enough.
And he was coming forward as well. He'll have absorbed even more.
Counter. He was having no success in the first round as Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, he's smiling as he's on the floor, badly dazed, that he can't even understand what the referee's saying, and look nowhere near making.
A punch that will reverberate around the world of heavyweight boxing.
He tries to extend the jab, leaves it, misses with a jab, and then straight away the reflexes just slot in.
Win inside 3 for Anthony Joshua, his 15th out of 16.
I remember when Lennox Lewis, when we sat there and he won the world title against Razor, and who's gonna challenge him and fight again. We look forward to it.
Well, one possible challenger is sitting alongside you, Glenn.
I was wondering about that.
And Anthony Joshua fought a punch.
Heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Joshua.
Moving side to side. I believe Charles Martin believed in his chin a little too much. Just because he hasn't been knocked out in sparring and knocked out against a caliber of opponents he's fought up until this point, he believed that he had a great chin. But in the heavyweight division, no matter who you are, if you get hit on the chin with 10-ounce gloves on by somebody who's 17.5 stone, 6'6", you've got nowhere to go but down. And Charles Martin learned it pretty emphatically.
Audley, did he mistime the count there at the end? Was the referee right to stop it after the second knockdown?
Yeah, he was definitely right to stop it. You know what was going to happen. We was hoping that Charles Martin would use that southpaw advantage potentially by moving, using that distance. He didn't do anything.
It wasn't even a factor, was it, the southpaw stance, really?
But he didn't make it a factor. He stood upright. He wasn't moving around. He wasn't creating no angles. So Joshua was just timing it beautiful. If you remember when Evander Holyfield boxed Buster Douglas, he threw that lovely right-hand counter. It was almost a similar shot. Beautiful, well-timed, perfect performance from Anthony Joshua.
Obviously, there's other champions out there, Johnny, and Anthony is a work in progress. How highly do you rate him compared to the likes of Tyson Fury, who lost money tonight on a bet, but probably be glad of big fights in the future? Bear in mind, David Haye, a rival, is just next to you.
Actually, after that performance, I rate him a lot higher than what I actually thought in the first place. How he did that and how he made it look so simple. Remember, almost every professional fighter, world champions and ex-world champions, thought this fight was far too early for Anthony Joshua. They thought it would, if we're honest with ourselves, thought it was going to be a tough night for him. So for him to do that, surprise us the way he did, in the fashion he did it, you've got to put him up there, and now you can convincingly believe he can mix it with almost any of them in the top 10 in the world.
David, you're the one that people talk about as a possible big fight rival of Anthony Joshua. Perhaps next year. You've got your own business to take care of, first of all. Did you see any weaknesses at all with Joshua?
No, not tonight. You know, there was nothing done by Charles Martin to bring out any weaknesses. You know, maybe a little bit of speed in the first round, as he was missing with a few rounds. You've got to be ultra critical to find something he did wrong. Maybe a little bit of his feet may be a little bit slow, but I'm literally looking for things. There was nothing tonight that you could say, okay, he could get knocked out because he does this. You know, the way I fight is completely different to Charles Martin. They do say stars make fights. I don't stand up in the air. My head's constantly moving. I throw lots of feints. I'm fast, but I'd relish the opportunity to fight someone like Anthony Joshua. I've never had problems with big guys like that, so particularly guys who rely on their power. Now, I've been hit on the chin by big guys. Vladimir Klitschko hit me on the chin. He never put me down. As I've got bigger and developed into a heavyweight, I believe my chin's got better. And a fight between myself and Anthony Joshua, I can't think of a bigger fight in world boxing.
Joshua fought emotionally here against Dillian Whyte, Audley.